Heart of Texas Media Network, any and all things Texas. Scouring the internets, came across this video that was pretty fascinating to me, pretty interesting, caught my attention, and I just want to play it.
Spirit of the city. Start your day early because there's a lot to do. Austin's natural beauty is the setting for active outdoor enjoyment. The Highland Lakes, stretching up the Colorado River, make Austin.
Now, let me say this, as someone who is very familiar with Austin, has always been familiar with Austin. Austin is like a safe haven, has always been like a safe haven for me. My grandmother was lived in Austin. My family has been in Austin. On my father's side, my family has been in Austin since the 1800s. And so we've been in and around Travis County, Austin, Texas for a long time, close to 200 years, right? So Austin is in my blood. I never really lived there formally. I lived there. Well, yeah, I did live there. Different intervals in my life, but never for a long time. But Austin is a home, I'd say. And looking at these lake levels, for one thing, I'm just gonna break down parts of this video that has just stand out to me as not necessarily an Austinite, but my dad grew up there, and I spent significant amount of time in Austin from way back in the 80s, and Austin has changed a lot. And then my favorite thing to do is ride around with my pops. Used to be one of my favorite things, to ride around with my grandmother and have them point out different things that changed. And one thing I noticed when I was watching this video was just the lake activity. The lake seems like the water levels seem like they're higher. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just looks different. But I'm gonna continue this.
An active center for water sports. Or how about jogging, bicycling, swimming, or world-class lazing in the sun? Austin is a nationally recognized music center.
So yeah, Austin has always been known as one of the live music capitals. I believe at one time it was billed as the live music capital of the world. And live music is still a thing there. Of course, on another video, we talked about South by Southwest. But
late night entertainment is easy to find on 6th Street.
6th Street has changed. 6th Street is not the 6th Street we once knew.
Austin's version of New Orleans. Live music, street performers, clubs, and unique shops. We hope you enjoy Austin. It's a unique city in a unique place where enjoying life is a high calling. Life is
now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those
easy
people who are sourpusses, basically, and just want to lament all of the changes. Change is necessary. Change is inevitable. I don't even want to say it's necessary. It is necessary, but change is just inevitable. It's a relentless part of human existence. Things change. Just the nature of, let me not get too deep, but things change. And so Austin has changed, and those Austinites, old Austinites, I understand their disdain for the city, going through some of the comments. The main thing I think is just the amount of transplants and the amount of money that has come, the amount of corporate dollars that have poured into the city that have changed the landscape. Like, look at this. I'll show this video in contrast with this video. I fell asleep amid the flowers. That's the Oasis. That's the Oasis at Lake Travis. Been there before. Beautiful views, nice vibe. terrible food. That's just the consensus across the board. You can ask anybody if you're from this area or if you've frequented this place before, you know you don't go there for the food. That's just, you just don't. It's like microwave food that they serve there. It's all about the vibes. For a couple of hours on a beauty. So yeah, so the skyline as we now see is always changing. Every time I drive into Austin, and I drive around South Congress. South Congress would be like over here. Am I tripping? Like over here, which is like the main strip of Austin. South Congress, all these streets over here downtown. You just see the change, and it's awe inspiring in one sense. You know, it's Austin. It's the little sleepy town capital city that has just budded and bloomed and boomed in the last 10 to 15 years. It's crazy to see. Beautiful. It's still a beautiful city though, man. And so where my family will be, so I believe this is 35. This is what, like Riverside, I think. This might be Riverside right here. Something like that. But anyway, my family is like right over here where we stayed at East Austin. They call it Central East Austin now. So my family would be over here, my grandma's house, my great grandma's house, which all this property we still own. And so it's a blessing. I can say it candidly, it's a blessing we still own this property because the value on it is just ridiculous. And, you know, I can't take credit for it. I'm just a recipient and a grateful recipient of the blessings of being able to know that we have this lucrative property over here. Yeah, Austin. This is Austin now, man. Beautiful city, man. Look at that skyline is ridiculous. Let me see if they show the skyline in this video. 1987. So I think this is like over South Congress area. This place, this green space right here is still there. People still, it don't look. I've never really seen it look like this. I think it's where like people watch the bats and stuff like that. I think that's where we're at. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, you can see the. Can't really see the skyline. I don't think they show the skyline. Yeah, see those. There's the skyline. So different angles, I believe, but you can see the difference, man. 87, 2025. So I mean that's 38 years, man. So nothing's gonna be the same, man. But you know, you got those people who gonna just lament the change in Austin. And I want to look at some of these comments. We go through some of these comments. I like going through comments. Okay, so first thing I see, water levels in this video. I noticed that as well. So that's what I was saying. See, Lake Travis, Lake Austin Town, like they sure look different today. See, I knew I wasn't tripping, man. The lakes just don't look like this. They don't. But they still nice. They're, you know, not too long ago I took my family going kayaking on the lake and it was fun. RIP to the skyline and tolerable people here. I mean, again, change is inevitable. What's the alternative for Austin to fall into disrepair and regress and then have to either demolish or significantly redevelop properties, which people will find an issue with? I miss this version of Austin. I mean, nothing can stay the same. I miss my old Austin. Change it back. You can't go back. You can't go back. The traffic is terrible. the homeless people. Now they've actually done a better job of the homeless people in the last few years because around 2019, 2020, 2021 probably was the height of the homeless epidemic. It was just terrible. I think they moved them all to San Antonio because San Antonio has seen a crazy rise in the number of homeless people just or unsheltered. That's everything got to be politically correct nowadays. The unsheltered. I remember when Lake Travis used to have water in it. Yeah, see the lake levels have changed. Moved to Austin 2009. By 2014, you could tell it wasn't. Yeah, around that time, that's when it really started to change. It's not the same. Anyone who says it's still the same has its old charm. Never knew what that version of Austin. Now it's just a cleaner version of LA or a less expensive version of Miami. No. Then look at how high the water was. See, I knew I wasn't. I knew I wasn't the only one tripping, man. I knew I noticed that the water levels. Yeah, this was Austin. Austin in the early '90s was awesome. Sleepy, intellectual powerhouse, little college town with killer bars, great underground indie music, and quiet neighborhood. Now it's a wannabe Atlanta. I wouldn't say wannabe Atlanta. I'd say it wannabe LA, or Silicon Valley. Um, yeah, because the influx of the tech people, South by Southwest has become more tech oriented. It just is what it is. Um, I don't know if it's something to lament again, but it's something to take notice of. Now, a mini Atlanta, nah, not definitely not a mini Atlanta. Houston is not a mini Atlanta, but it's a second version of Atlanta. Atlanta 2.0, maybe I'd say, or just a different version. I don't want to say 2.0 because that makes it seem like it's a bigger and better. But Houston is bigger than Atlanta. The whole Houston area is bigger than Atlanta, but Houston is just another version of Atlanta or Atlanta. They're cousins. I don't know. Uh, I solely missed 1990s. Also, it was actually weird and underground cool back then. Yeah, it was. It was weird, and it's hard to explain what the weird was about. Um, it was just cool, man. I can't appreciate growing up. I spent plenty summers, holidays in Austin, so I'm very familiar with it. My dad grew up there, grandma, all my family on my dad's side. That particular era influenced many bands from Denton. Traveling to South by Southwest during spring break to see your friend's band play was just the standard. Yep. Sadly now South by, so I talked about that on the other video, on the South by Southwest video. Um so it all goes hand in hand, man. Why South by Southwest has changed and Austin along with it has changed. The Austin I know from 1997 is much more like the one in the video. It was our city's golden age. It would be unrecognizable to someone who left in 97, much less mid 80s, and I don't mean that in a good way. Unpopular opinion, but that's what my life currently looks like in Austin. It's just 4K. Stop hating. The charm is still there. Adapt and enjoy what it has to offer. Yeah, I think most of the complaints I see from people is just how expensive it is, how expensive and crowded it is. It's more people, it's more expensive, but Austin is still a vibe. I still like to I still like to trek over to Austin, and it's very good for outdoors, for walking, for it's a very walkable city, at least in this area. Very walkable, very bike friendly. My grandma used to complain about all the bike lanes that they put up. Matter of fact, um, when she was driving, um, I think Austin is still a good city, man. What do y'all think? Austin's still dope to me. I mean, look at it. It's still dope. And this is it in 4K. You know, it's the same. Like the other guy said, it's the same in 4K with more buildings and more people. Traffic is bad, but then again, if you know your way around, you can move around. Not too bad. I mean, I've been in Austin and plenty of times in 4 or 5 o'clock traffic, afternoon traffic, which is every day there, and I've been able to navigate my way around quite easily, quite adeptly. So again, me being familiar with Austin, I know the little side streets. I know where to go, where not to go. And if you live there, you should learn to do that too. You know, I move around every city that I frequent like that. You know, all the major cities that I've, except for Houston. Houston traffic is just different, and then you can't just whip around like that because just the way the layout of the land is. But anyway, talk about Austin. What you think about it? Are you familiar with it? Is the Austin that you once knew? Well, of course it's not, but I think Austin's still a vibe, man. Just not what it used to be. You got to get your money up. Got to get your money up. Can't play broke in Austin. Um, it used to be it was always, the cost of living was always a little bit more than a place like San Antonio, but not exponentially more now like it is now. Now it's exorbitantly more expensive to live in Austin than San Antonio. But San Antonio's creeping up that way though. It's creeping up slowly, but it won't ever get to that Austin standard. No, I won't, because just the money's just not there. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about Austin. Peace and blessing.